my glass of wine up here, is that going to in some way be a bad reflection of the things that take away my credibility? That's a glass of wine right now. I am a Californian. I'm going to leave that glass of wine. Yeah. I want to thank USBIC for what they're doing here, not just tonight, but for what's been done over the years to try to save America from this monstrous cabal of people who want to globalize the decision-making in our world, and they're going to take the power away from the American people and give it to people who haven't been elected to anything and come from countries that are run where their people are treated like serfs. So this is a vital fight, and as USBIC has been really in the forefront. I want to thank Phyllis. And by the way, here I am, the last speaker, and now you're getting cheesecake. Take a look about it. Phyllis and I will tell you, Phyllis, you must have been about 11 years old when you wrote that book about strikes from space, and I still remember that book. And she has been inspiring me my whole life, my whole conscious life. And thank God for you, Phyllis. And we've become real partners here on this issue and a number of issues. So thank God that she's here with us today, because we are on the front lines of the battle. And everybody in this room is going to make a difference, because it is close. And Claudio, you are my hero. And people like you who succeed and then don't try to act superior to everybody else. Or join some clique someplace. You have a deep appreciation for the United States of America and the freedom that we have here, and I really deeply appreciate that. So our people are hurting right now. Where they are. We've got ordinary American citizens. This is what saved the world. I mean, look, when Nazism and Japanese militarism threatened the world, it was people like my father, who left a dirt poor farm in North Dakota in order to go out and save the world, okay? And hundreds of thousands of young people like him went out, saved the world from Japanese militarism and Nazism. And then everybody thought, well, then we can relax, this generation will relax. No, and then the same middle Americans, not these rich people who are seen in all the right places, but the people who work and sweat and don't have an awful lot, went out and saved the world from communism. And that's what it's all about. The fact is, there wouldn't be freedom anywhere on this planet if it wasn't for the courage and the dedication to freedom of the American people. To them to make sure that the fundamentals are there that will make sure that the American dream was in their grasp. And there are a lot of those people who are out hurting right now, and they're either unemployed or underemployed. They're struggling. There's a story going out about and a lot of kids, when they get out of school, they can't get jobs that they want, so they have to take other jobs that they didn't think they were going to have to take. And there is a story about a guy who always wanted to work with animals. A veterinarian, anything. He loved animals. That's what he wanted to do in his life. That's what freedom. He didn't necessarily want to be rich. He wanted to work with animals. And he couldn't get a job. There are no jobs available. That's how the economy has shrunk, and there aren't any of these jobs available. And then he saw an ad in the paper. And it said that there was a job available at the zoo. He went down to the zoo, and he was horrified when he got in, and the head of the zoo talked to him, because what they wanted is someone who would dress in a gorilla outfit, because their gorilla had died and they needed someone to sit in the cage until the real gorilla arrived. But he was promised if he would do this, the very first real job with animals that came up at the zoo, he would get. So he decided to accept the job. There he was. And being a gorilla is mighty boring. And he's sitting there, and he starts swinging on the rope. He starts playing little games, tricks for the kids, and he's swinging around. And one day he slipped, and he fell right into the lion's cage. And the lion starts heading over towards him, and he jumps to his feet and says, get me out of here, help, help, get me out of here. And the lion jumps up on him and says, shut up, you're gonna get us both fired. If we are to have a society in which young people can make their dreams, can reach out and can accomplish their dreams, whether it's working with animals, or whether it's working with cars, or whether it's being someone who tries their best to be a singer at the local bar, or whatever it is, whatever their dream is. We live in a country where our people have thought of that as their right. One of the reasons why our people believe that Americans have these rights and have seen the upward mobility of regular people, ordinary people who come from poverty and work their way up into a life of decency, is because the United States has led the way in the development of technologies, and it has been technology and freedom that has made our country and made it the decent place for regular people. You know, you can have elites living well anywhere in the world under any system, but it takes freedom and technology for ordinary people to live a good life, and Americans have that right. And yet, what we have seen and what we have seen before us today is an attempt to try to dramatically alter the basic rules of the game, which will deny the American people this upward mobility, because the production of wealth based on new technologies will be denied them. And you know, and when I talk about technology and I talk about science, and I'm here in front of somebody like Claudio, who, you know, he's talking about all these engine configurations and things, and he knows all. Anyway, I don't know any of that stuff. I'm a surfer from California, you know, and the bottom line is I know that there are four major, and you could correct me, Claudia, there are four major elements to the universe. There are protons, neutrons, electrons, and morons. And I can assure you that you have some sort of force in the universe that takes the morons and places them here in the District of Columbia.